done.
Exactly. Hey, hey man. Push your best fight. Yep. And just like you said, and that's another thing, because a lot of times we want to do these things, and we talk about that before, about, we want to get out there. A lot of people don't want to, they want to put in the work, but they don't want nobody, they kind of fear criticism, whatever. We're not scared of that, because, this brother, and we done been in severe situations,
Exactly.
And even before I got to prison, in the hood, think about it. We taking chances every day while we hustling and stuff like this, and people judging us, and we still do it without a care in the world. So if you had that mentality while you doing that, why you can't have that same mentality and drive for doing something good and not care? Because people gonna always feel like people gonna speak on you, whatever if you're doing good or doing bad. But we built for that, because we don't be in situations where we had people trying to infiltrate us. You know what I mean? Trying to come between us, whether our friendship, our unity, and so we are already prepared for that. So that's not gonna even move me at all. A brother can't come to me about Shelton trying to tell me something and whisper something.
Brother, all you gotta do is ask me.
Vincent was saying. Right. You see what I'm saying?
You want to know something? Just ask me, brother.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put that on Front Street. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I'm going to tell you back out. All this backbiting and all this stuff. We learned that in there. Like, if you are my brother and you are mirror to me, I'm going to protect your honor. We're going to investigate, but we're going to find out. But I'm not going to jump to no conclusions. And a lot of times, brother, especially as African Americans, we quick to turn somebody down, that once they get attacked, we don't try to investigate. We jump right on the bandwagon and try to criticize and turn this brother movement down before it even gets started by people who are oppressing us and are enemies to us and don't care nothing about us anyway. And we feed right into it.
It's because it's easy to do. Because it's easy to do, though. It's easy to feed into negativity. It's easy to hear something negative about somebody else. You know why? Because I'm not thinking about what was possibly negative about me, right? So the moment that I'm thinking about what somebody else doing or what somebody else not doing or don't have going on, then I take the pressure off me, and so that's what happens a lot of times. We lose focus on what really matters. And then also what makes that person so comfortable coming telling you something about me. They coming to tell you, so they know what you like mess. They know you like drama. You look like a trash can. Why are they dumping that on you?
Right. Exactly.
Cause dog, bring a bone, carry a bone.
Right. It's also one thing, man, with conscious people.
Sir.
We willing to accept that admonishment if it's needed. And like I say, like with me and Brian over the years, like we willing to accept admonishment, because as a conscious person, you already know when you're wrong. So when a brother admonishes you on it, you have to accept it and grow from it, because the admonishment comes from love as well. And I think that's a huge problem in society. It's like, don't nobody want to be told that, especially in the African American community. Everybody want to be the head person. Don't nobody really want to play the role. But the reality of it is you get what you strive for. Everybody get exactly what they strive for.
I feel you. I feel you there. But a lot of stuff that I see too, though, is that point you just made. A lot of people not doing it in love, bro. They doing it in a judgmental. They doing it in a critical way.
Oh, yeah.
They doing it as if they never had a past. They not doing it in love. Right. And so these youngsters now, they're gonna let you know, hey, you can miss me with that. You can miss me with that. And they will tell you that out loud. Miss me with that. So if you're not coming in love, and they know, as you say, real recognize real, they know if you coming to them and you really concerned about them, or you just want to feel some kind of way about yourself. So if you ain't coming in love, you definitely going to be ignored, and that's across all categories, whether young, old. That's why a lot of times the information doesn't really get disseminated like it needs to be, because it's all coming in a critical vein.
Right. Hey man, you're making a good point, bro.
Yes, sir.
I was feeling like right before we started this segment, me and Brandon was talking about, I had actually seen a post earlier today, and it had a picture of three brothers. It was like they hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. That's pretty much what it symbolized. And my take was pretty much like that's what the problem is. That's the problem. Like it's basically like turning the other cheek. Like you see what's going on, but you don't want to say nothing. You don't want to do nothing about it. You just gonna walk right past it.
Not my problem.
It really don't affect people. Yeah, it don't really affect them until they hit home. And once it hit home, it's like that's when it's time to clean it up.
But
it's like now. You have to look at, you have to look at the other families and like they going through that same grief. So it's like, that's something I think we need to be real vocal on, bro. Because I mean, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem.
It's
going to cause a lot of conflict.
It's a huge problem. My challenge to everyone listening, all the fans, all the listeners, everybody. My challenge is that if you see something that needs correcting in your mind and say, you know what, I feel like I need to say something. Think about what you need to say, how you need to say it, and the delivery of it all. Because it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. Right? And the effectiveness we talk about of words and things of that nature is how you say it to that person. Because if you coming in a loving and kind and caring way, that may be exactly what they need at that particular moment to get them to actually change and maybe do whatever you say they do. Okay, pull your pants up. Okay, does that bother you that bad? Okay, cool. Okay, let me do that. Or whatever. But if you saying it in a negative, pull your pants up, y'all just make me sick with all this, that, and third, that's not going to get a response from anybody. Then when they come and buck back, then you mad. So my challenge is that we need to just think about how we approach something that we feel we got to say something, whatever it is. If we feel we have to say something, let's marinate on it for a few minutes and then just think about how we're going to deliver that message. And also, if it was us getting spoken to, how would we receive it?
Right. You're hitting on some good points, both of you brothers, as always. And I was listening to your last segment, and we was talking about, you was talking about the N-word and all these different things.
Yeah.
And we give power to language, and it's the tone. That's what you're really dealing with. It's the tone.
Yeah.
So that's how we come off. If I tell you, something in that spirit, you're gonna pick up on that. Because we call it vibes, right? I get bad vibes when this person come around.
Bad juju.
So that's how. Yeah. So this goes back to what Brother Vincent was talking about, the righteousness and stuff like this. That's already instilled in you. You don't have to go to school to understand about bad vibes. You know what I mean? No. This stuff is natural. You know when something is up. Your conscience tell you, to be aware. But I also want to touch on what you were saying about speaking out against stuff. There's something we was taught was that when you see an injustice, three things that you do. You got three alternatives. Change it with your hands. Now, we know we can't change everything with our hand, but it just don't mean that for us fighting and stuff like that. Sometimes you got to change it with a pen, the power of the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, which what we bring in with our music too. But sometimes you got to change it like that. But then it also say, if you can't do it like that, speak out against it. Speak out against it. But you have to use wisdom in these different cases. And also the last one is say, if you can't do nothing, of those two effects, it hated in your heart, and that's the Lord for faith. But see, it all starts inside. If you don't feel anything, I'm not conscious of this. I'm not, I don't care. We've been talking about this. I don't care. When I went to Vegas, bro, I seen so many homeless people out there.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, every bright light I seen somebody homeless.
Me too.
And people was walking by because they didn't care. So this tying into what you was talking about, what we've been discussing about this love, speaking out and stuff. And I'm not afraid, as the brother was saying, hey, it's nothing wrong with us having differences, but can we talk about our differences in a respectful manner instead of blasting each other because you disagree with me and I disagree with you? Nah, disagreement is for growth too. You know what I mean?
It is.
Right.
It is.
It's all
Everything
about your
doesn't have to be divisive. It doesn't have to be divisive. But you're in a world right now that promotes violence, promotes negativity, promotes separation, promotes racism, promotes classism, promotes all them isms, right? And so if you're exposed to that, and then your mind isn't conscious, your mind isn't aware of the games and the tricks that's being played, you fall right into that same trap. So I don't fault those people for falling into that trap. My main thing that I want people to understand and I say think about is, why do we do what we do? Why, if I see a brother, I automatically think negative? Why, if I see a young lady, it's negative? Why isn't it love? If we talk about love, we got churches on every corner.
Right.
What do the communities look like?
Right.
We got love. Right. We're talking about love, right? So again, love often imitated, seldom demonstrated. So when people really see true love, you'll get the response you want from anybody you want them to do. You get more bees with honey, right?
Right.
You know.
But like you said, and I know Vince is gonna jump in on this, bro. And I just want to say this before I forget. You know, we were the lowest of the low, bro. Yes, and I'm speaking about me and him especially, and African American people, how we was treated.
Yes, sir.
We were the lowest of the low. We was right in the hood. We don't been in the penitentiary. You know what I mean? And we were the lowest of the low. Like, we did the same stuff. Mm-hmm. So what is it about? It was a traumatic experience that causes us to change and look at life different. And we got to all be retaught, all of us, because we got to be school. We call it going to school, right? We got to all be retaught if we want to progress and, you know, do better by each other. Yeah, this stuff is promoted, but we ain't got to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Right. We being a part of it because we lack knowledge. That's what it is. Right. We lack the knowledge. That's why we keep talking about this knowledge, and we feeding off this knowledge. If you start feeding your mind this, we're going to replace that trash that we've been conditioned to believe in, to hate each other and to fight each other. Like you're saying, you automatically see a brother you got a problem with. You don't even know why you mad.
Automatically.
Automatically.
Look the dude up and down. I don't even know this dude. Why you dude mad at me? Is it the shoes? Is it the hat? Is it the shirt? What is it, brother?
Right. And then also, man, what we have out here in society is like you have a lot of brothers, like, you know, I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, they want to make their transition, but a lot of them are afraid to put on this new man. Like, what is this new man? They can't relate to the new man because when it comes to being righteous, you know, they've made righteous seem like you have to be like a square to be right. Right. But you just got to stay away from the same thing, you know. And a lot of brothers scared to put on that new man because there's not too many brothers, man, that come from the neighborhood that we come from can actually say they like it. I mean, because there's nothing to like about it. There's nothing to glorify about it. Like, it's miserable, right? But somebody don't know how to change it. Some of them don't know how to change it. They don't have that knowledge of self, like Brandon was saying. And it's like one of my things that I always say is we really have to give America back everything that they gave us. I mean, the diet have to change. The food that we eat have to change. The way we pray have to change. The way we think have to change. Like, everything that they gave us, we got to regurgitate it. We got to give it back to them. You know, an example would be like, you know, for brothers that don't smoke, a reefer or cigarettes. You know, first time they hit me, their body instantly rejected. You know, Lord, get me out of here, get me out of here. But after so long, you condition your body to crave it. Now all of a sudden your body is craving for what it didn't want in the first place. So to separate yourself from it, it's going to take the same thing. It's going to take that same thing, but you have to start the process. The process has to be started. And I would say that solution would be learning that knowledge of self.
True.
Exactly.
True.
I agree. I agree.
There's no excuse really for not having knowledge because we're in the internet age, right? You know,
right.
When I went to school, the first time I touched a computer was in the 6th grade. We did a floppy disk. It was really like a fly. I had to program and write everything in and DOS and give it the program codes and all that stuff there. So when I hear or see someone that say they don't know this or don't know that, then I ask, what's your excuse? You know, because if you have a smartphone, there's no excuse. You have a computer, there's no excuse. You have access to the internet, there's no excuse. If you have access to older people in your life, there's no excuse. So we rest in the excuses, and we allow the excuses to be made, and that's